So the FIDE Grand Swiss Day 4, when you look at how this event has progressed, it's yet again a bittersweet day, but also a very historic day for the Indian contingent that has come up. Because when you look at all the top players today, Praggnanandhaa, Gukesh versus Arjun Erigaisi, they all drew their games. Vidit Gujrati was the last game that ended against Vasily Ivanchuk, and that went out for a lengthy 6.5 hour game. And in the end, the Rook and King endgame ensured that it was a draw. But the biggest news of the day comes from Divya Deshmukh. Divya Deshmukh finally managed to win in the open category by beating Amin Basim, and it was a brilliant game by Divya because she had all the pieces controlled. She actually had a very bad opening. She just missed her opening prep, and that is why she was in time trouble and she was in a bit of trouble early on. But she bounced back in a brilliant way. Amin Basim just ensured that, okay, he could not capitalize on one rook blunder that was there. And in the end, the bishop, queen, and the rook endgame situation meant that Divya was an extra piece up, and that is why she managed to win in the open category. This is a big statement today by both the women players who are playing in the open category. Divya Deshmukh has managed to win it in the open category, and Alexandra Goryachenko has also managed to win in the open category today as well. When you look at Praggnanandhaa versus Abhimanyu Mishra, Praggnanandhaa was dominating, but the end game became so complicated with the knight and the pawn and pieces that yes, it was very difficult to break through. And because of that, Praggnanandhaa, the advantage fizzled away, and that is why he managed to end with a draw. Gukesh and Arjun Erigaisi, they played with tremendous accuracy, both of them, and in the end they just cancelled each other's accuracy out, and that is why it was a solid draw with no chance of a breakthrough at this stage. Vidit had a huge advantage against Vasily Ivanchuk, but in the end he managed to blunder it, and because the piece advantages just didn't come up in the right way, he lost the pawn advantage as well, and that's why it ended in a dull draw. But it was a very fascinating match indeed. I mean, Vasily Ivanchuk at age of about 60 plus, what a legend, and he continues to inspire at this point, playing with other people who are stronger than him. His dedication to the game of chess is simply mind-blowing, and that is why salute and kudos to Vasily Ivanchuk, who managed to ensure that he drew against Vidit Gujrati as well. Now, this is making the Grand Swiss event far more interesting because now everybody is piled up behind Parham Maksudlu. Parham also managed to do well today, and that is why 3 points at the end of 5 rounds, it's at the end of 4 rounds, it's really indication of how close this Grand Swiss is. Even Vaishali managed to draw her game, Harika managed to draw her game, but Vantika yet again had a blunder, and that is why she missed out. 2 games now that she's lost ever since that incident with Divisara Suboeva, and that's why now Vantika, her chances now look bleak. Divya winning in the open category, Goryachenko winning in the open category, Gukesh Arjun ends in a draw, Pragg ends in a draw with Abhimanyu Mishra. Abhimanyu Puranik tried his best, but then he also ensured that, okay, it was a solid show from him as well. So yes, heading into round 5, it's all boiling up now because in the next 2 days you will be playing the games. On 10th, you will be having a rest day, the only rest day in the Grand Swiss. Now let's see how that pans out from that point on. But it is becoming increasingly hard to separate the top. And with just half a point remaining and with so many players trailing behind, the Grand Swiss is going to reach a very interesting conclusion by the middle of September. Thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this update. Subscribe to Sports Today for all the latest news and analysis.